During England's tour of South Africa in 99-2000, the hosts were leading the Test series 2-0 as the fifth and final Test match approached at Centurion. South Africa posted a total of 155 for 6 on the first day before rain halted play. The second, third and fourth days were completely washed out. With only the final day remaining, the match seemed destined for a draw. South African captain Hansie Cronje talked to Alec Stewart, the English wicketkeeper, before the start of the fifth day's play and placed an offer for England to chase down 270 in 73 overs. The English team wasn't ready to accept the deal. Hussain, coach Duncan Fletcher and senior pros Micheal Atherton and Stewart agreed that they would not decide until they had seen how the wicket played on that day. They were skeptical about how the pitch would behave after 3 days of rain. South Africa started batting, and after about 40 minutes of play, Nasser Hussain observed Shaun, Pollock and Klusener batting comfortably, so he sent a message to the South African captain inquiring whether the offer was still on. Hussain intentionally asked to chase 250 so that even with bargaining, the target wouldn't be more than 260. However, Hussain was surprised by the ready acceptance of the deal by Hansie Cronje. Finally, the target was set at 245 in 76 overs rather than the original 270 in 73 overs. But this target also had to change because of a 4 hit in the 72nd over of the South African innings. South Africa declared their first innings at 248 for 8. England forfeited their first innings and South Africa forfeited their second innings, effectively setting a target of 249 for England in their second innings. England's chase started shakily as Atherton snigged Pollock early. After a stable partnership, Mark Butcher was deceived by a slower ball from Klusener, and Hussain hit another slower from Pollock straight into the hands of cover. When Chris Adams fended a short ball from Hayward to Mark Boucher in the 38th over, it was 102 for 4. The Englishmen were by now having second thoughts about accepting the challenge. Michael Vaughan, demoted down the order for his slow batting earlier in the series, walked into bat after the fourth wicket fell and joined Alec Stewart in the middle. Everyone expected them to go for the draw, but the spirit of challenge had made its way into their veins. Vaughan played beautiful drives through the covers, picking up boundaries. At the other end, Stewart was steadily picking up valuable runs. They countered the South African attack and put up a partnership of 126 runs, taking the score to 228. England needed 21 runs with 5 wickets in hand. Victory seemed right around the corner, and that is when panic started making waves in the English camp. Stewart was caught behind off Hayward. All-rounder Darren Maddy, a replacement for Andrew Flintoff, was run out after taking on Kristen's arm for a second run. 2 balls later, Pollock caught Caddick. Vaughan also couldn't control his instinct. He backed away to hit Hayward through the covers, only to have his stumps disarranged. The score was 240 for 8. 9 runs were required and 13 balls remained in the day. The match seemed perfectly poised for a thrilling finale. Chris Silverwood lashed at the last ball of the penultimate over and it fetched him a boundary. The scoreboard read 247 for 8. Hayward ran and bowled the first ball of the final over and Darren Gough pulled him to the boundary to give England the win. Michael Vaughan earned the Player of the Match award for his crucial innings of 69 off 108 balls. South Africa won the series 2-1. This match was lauded in the cricketing community for the display of sportsmanship by both teams. However, the jubilation was short-lived as on April 12th, the match-fixing scandal erupted. Within 3 days, the truth behind the test match emerged. A bookmaker who would have suffered a huge loss in case of a draw had supposedly contacted Cronje on the 4th evening. He urged me to speak to Hussain about an early declaration. Cronje confessed to the King Commission later that year. He said if we declared, he'd give $150,000 to charity. After the match, this bookmaker supposedly met Cronje and paid the South African captain $50,000 in South African currency and gifted him a leather jacket, the price of the first fixed test match in the history of cricket. Nasser Hussain and the England team were not aware of this at the time, taking the South African request at face value. This became the central issue of the match-fixing saga of 1999-2000. Hansie Cronje was banned from any involvement in cricket for life and 2 years later on June 1st, 2002, he tragically died in a plane crash at the age of 32. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.